What's up, everybody? A Sparrow with a Gun here from Sleepless Nights with another episode on the Space Engineers Inspiration series. We're starting things off with the Ponthar class freighter? Frigate? Freighter. Pretty sure it's a freighter, I think. And I keep wanting to say Ponthar instead of Ponthar, but that's a little different. We're not crossing this ship. So primarily, as a freighter, it's designed to transport cargo and such, but mainly I pulled it because it looked really cool. I like the design, especially for a freighter, because it doesn't exactly strike me as a cargo ship. You know, cargo ships are usually very efficient and boxy looking kind of thing, and this thing actually looks really cool. I love these arch things. These are really neat looking. And once again, I'm very impressed with the whole decorative style and design with pure vanilla blocks. That's impressive to me. Now, the blueprint did have an option for the shield mod to be used, because in the description it was listed for increased security because the ship's primarily made out of light block. And so you could add the shield and you might get an error if you don't have that, but as far as I'm aware, as near as I can tell, it doesn't actually break anything if you don't have it. It's just not going to have the shield block. But you can see a ton of thrusters up here too. It has, it should be able to go from atmosphere to non-atmosphere and back again and so forth. It uses atmosphere thrusters and two different sets of ion thrusters. There's the main and then there's the extra for that added kick to like get you out of the atmosphere and things like that. Airlocks on two sides, or rather one on each side, I guess. Okay. Now, in terms of interior and stuff, I really don't know how this ship has been laid out. Actually, it looks like that back half of the ship is purely engine, and there's no way to get back there. I was thinking this would just be your entrance point and you'd go around or something, but I guess it's primarily this main corridor area. Actually, I was expecting a lot more interior on the left and right and stuff. There is crew quarters and cryo chambers for up to 6 people, I believe, if I remember correctly from the description. I have to admit, though, I do like... Okay, here's the med bay, I guess. With the oxygen storage tanks. I do like, though, the ships that have kind of a corridor feel. It kind of reminds me of what would probably be made from real, like, NASA-type ships if they were making ships like this big into this capacity and to do this kind of thing. To have them like more in like a narrow corridor so that it it's the efficient over function over form kind of thing, that you don't need it to be all super fancy schmancy. You just need it to basically be, functional. So there's that. This looks like the corridor. This is probably, I'm gonna go with captain's quarters because it's like over here by itself. And they usually get a special room because they're special. So here's another one. This is a cool view, though. I mean, that is a really... I just really like those arcs. I think that's really neat. I still say, though, in the last... Yeah, and see, there's 4. So you got 1 and 2. So let's say Captain and XO, I guess, and then 4 other people. We'll go with it. So it's a cozy little crew. I still say, though, I've yet to find a vanilla engineering tactic or technique, rather, than that floating thing that they pulled in that in my last episode that I showcased, that yellow ship that had its floating. I don't know what those are called, but basically they're just the floating parts of the ship that can rotate freely. That was so cool. Yeah, so I thought there might be an interior back here to get to the engineering stuff and the cargo and things, but I guess not. I don't know where the cargo is, in fact. Because it's supposed to have like 10 large cargo containers. And I actually don't see them, so I don't know where they are. I'm sure they're in here somewhere. They're probably, I have no idea, actually. That's interesting. Unless they're in like these side compartments, but I think those are all thrusters and stuff. But it has 10 large ones, I believe, and I think you're able to fill up all of them and still be able to move around normally. The exception being on planets, there's a weight limit, I believe. But all that stuff's in the description, but I think that's going to wrap things up for this one, so let's move on to the next one. Okay, so next up we have the Heavy Industrial Station X. I'm pretty sure that's what that said. Overall, I really like the look of this thing. It is kind of like a floating base. I don't know... I guess you could have it in atmospheric environments. I'm not really sure. But the look has definitely got that industrial feel, which is really cool looking. Even the color scheme kind of fits that under construction type look of things, so that's really cool. We've got 2 landing pads up here on the top that looks like they can hold 3 ships, give or take, depending on size and connection placement. And then the main hangar is in here. I like the lighting in here as well. This works, I don't know when this was built, but it works great with the new graphical system and new lighting and stuff like that that they've been working on in the game, in the development branch. So we have other smaller landing sections here. This thing looks pretty cool from the screenshots. It's like an extendable connector, I think. Let's see if I can find a button. Hangar deck spotlights, raise connector piston. There we go. So I thought that was kind of neat, that you can actually pull this thing up and either dock to it directly on the top or have 4 other connectors. I thought that was pretty cool overall. I am surprised there's no hangar door to fully seal that off, though. What is this? Hangar doors A1, A2, B and 2, B1 and B2. So that's for the individual doors. But there isn't one for the main, which is a little interesting to me. But overall, I love the look. The look is probably the biggest thing that I'm impressed with. What is going on? Do we not have gravity? We don't have gravity. Alright, well, I guess walking's out. I thought my sim speed was down super low, and I was like, hold on. This doesn't seem right. Open. Really, we have no gravity in here. That's interesting. Okay, main cargo access is that way. Hangar A1 and 2, ice production facility and stairs. B1 and 2, production facility. Let's check out the cargo area here. Oh, it's rotating. Oh my gosh. For a minute there, I thought when I pasted the blueprint in, it like broke or something. That scared the crap out of me. Advanced rotor, on and off. Oh, okay. So it's almost like a rotary system where it's like when it gets to the one you want, you can turn it off. That's kind of cool. Now there is some kind. I don't know if it's an original or just one off the workshop. I'm not sure, but the description mentioned there is some kind of inventory management script running to where when you dock and dump stuff, it'll just automatically sort it where it's supposed to go, which I thought was pretty cool. Let's see if we can't poke our head in here without getting smushed. So, lots of cargo space. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 per row and what, 4 rows? I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I want to say 4. is probably how many... Yeah, 4 rows. So you got 4 rows at 6. That's like 24 large containers, which is quite a lot, even for like very big projects and things. That's a lot of materials. I don't think there's anywhere to go through here, so we're gonna head back this way and check out the different process. I'm getting a very Star Wars-y Death Star corridor here, which is not a bad thing. It looks really cool. That's to the hangar. Ice processing. Let's see what we got going on here. There are some sensors in place. I just heard one click. I don't remember what all they do. So we have oxygen, and that's the generators. I think. Or is that the generators on top? I can never remember. I think those are oxygen generators. Yeah, okay. Let's see. And then we've got oxygen tanks, and I'm pretty sure that's a hydrogen tank, and oxygen tanks above it too, so more storage. And let's check out the lower deck. I'm very surprised there's no gravity. That's kind of odd to me. Oh, this is definitely a Star Wars, a Death Star kind of corridor. I love it. It's great. Ore processing A. I love the lighting. It's got that smoky kind of look to it. It makes it very, like, you know, it's supposed to be an industrial feel, so it makes it very factory kind of feeling. Looks like we've got refineries and back-to-back refineries with multiple mods. That's Q. Emergency escape pods. Ooh, that's pretty cool. Where's their thrusters? Oh, they're there. That's a neat idea. Because I'm assuming it's got lights. Where's the gyroscopes? Does it have any gyroscopes? I would think it would. Maybe not. Battery. I can't tell. I don't see one in there, though. That's pretty cool, though. That's a pretty decent oxygen tank. That's a pretty decent escape pod idea. I like it. I am confused as to if there's no gyroscopes, how you would fly it other than just, I guess you could use your thrusters, but you couldn't really turn. But it is an escape pod, so you're not going to have, like, every feature under the sun. Okay, what else do we have here going on? Main power plant. Ooh. Good use of the green glowing lights. That's a lot of batteries. I mean, this is a big station, but whew, battery wall. Okay. And what's all this? Main power lights, batteries. It's probably like on recharge, you know, stuff like that. Or it's different sets, I'm imagining. Jump drive room. Wow, the station has a jump drive. That's pretty cool. It's got its own reactor for that. And 4, it looks like. Pretty slick. Alright, and that's another ore processing room. Okay, let's go up to the upper deck. Maintenance authorized personnel only. Oh, I see. That's why that's maintenance. Okay, what do we got in here? Kind of looking for some kind of crew quarter or something. Wow, this just opened up into a very big area that I was not expecting. That's kind of cool. That's like really neat. Heavy landing pad A. Maybe that was B and I read it wrong. Okay, yeah, so there's the Oh, so it's heavy landing pad. Okay, so it's like for bigger ships that can't fit, maybe. Maybe that's what that's for. And we've got stairs going up, but there's also rooms here. Where are you going to? I do kind of wish we had some gravity going on. It's a little hard to maneuver through all this. Okay, this is so this is overseeing the storage room. That doesn't actually go anywhere. It looked like stairs. Okay, so... Oh, the bridge. Yes, that would be a good thing, wouldn't it? That seems like it'd be useful. From what I read in the description, too, here's the gyroscopes for the station. And programmable blocks. This is actually a really neat room. I like that. Feels like a server room. From what I read in the description, it has basically some gyros and thrusters for adjustment maneuvering, but it's not entirely designed to be like, let's just go fly around the galaxy in our station kind of thing, from what I read. It looks really cool, though. Oh, there they are. Okay. I couldn't see what anything was turned on or not. So yeah, it's a pretty cool station. I really like it. It has some really neat stuff going on. And then there's a whole mess of stuff down here at the bottom that I didn't even see. Which probably has unpressurized or depressurized maintenance catwalks and areas and stuff too. Looks like a hangar door there on the bottom. That looks like solar panels on the bottom. So there's definitely some more stuff on the bottom that I don't think they're like full rooms, but they're interesting little areas and such. Oh, that's the hangar door for the escape pod. I just looked at all the beacons on the antenna. Okay, so that's where the escape pods drop out from. Cool. Alright, well that'll do it for this one. So let's move on to the last one. Okay, so last but not least, we have the Gauntlet. Yeah, so this is a thing. It's actually really cool looking. It's basically an obstacle course in essence. It's like you have to try and get through all the different traps and things like that and get to the end. Now, the only caveat to this is a world file, which is cool and all. But it doesn't actually come with a ship. So I'm not entirely sure exactly if there's any criteria for how large the ship would have to be. An example would be like this. Now, granted, when I did load this, something did make the explodey sound, but I don't see anything floating or missing, so I'm assuming everything's intact. But there's some things like this one where I'm kind of like, if you were using the small fighter, couldn't you just go around it? So I'm not sure if there's like a minimal size thing going on or not. Well, obviously it's not for a player, because we're making it through fairly fine. So yeah, with that in mind, I'm gonna grab one of my random ships that's in my library of blueprints from all of my inspiration episodes. I'll probably just grab the default little fighter, or I don't think the big red would fit, so that might be doomed to fail. But I'm going to try it with the little fighter. We're probably going to do maybe a couple of runs with some different size ships or something just to see how it works. But the description really doesn't, it just says how far can you get. So we'll see how this goes. Okay, so first off, let's try this with a little fighter guy and see how it goes. Now, like I said, the spacing and things makes me think that this is primarily more for a larger ship. But then again, that happens. So, let's see, what was that? I got, it was like through number 7 or something. I don't know if I actually damaged anything that's beyond... Oh, there, put a big hole in the wall. Okay. Let's give that another go. Because I'll admit, I don't really think I'm going to have a lot better luck without... or with using the bigger ships. Let's turn our light on too. That might not help at all. Let's not do that, actually. I gotta stop doing that. Okay. Where am I? It keeps turning my dampeners off for some reason. That's getting a little annoying to me, to be honest. I don't know if the ship doesn't have them on or what, but that's getting a little aggravating. I definitely think I'm overcompensating with speed, though. Yeah, dampeners are on, so I don't know why it keeps speeding up like that. Or not speeding up, but not slowing down, rather. Like, I need to just tap things and then just let it coast through, except for this one. Whoop-a-daisy. Nope, 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 that's wall, that's wall, that's wall, that's wall. Okay, so apparently, apparently the size of the ship really doesn't affect that much, or you just have to actually be a decent pilot. One of the two. Because the latter definitely could be an issue. Alright. Let's try this again. So if we go... we wait for that to go. And this one... oh crap. Dag nabbit. So... oh! So what I'm finding here is while the fighter ships and things may have improved maneuverability, the bigger ships probably have more durability in that they can probably get hit once or twice and not actually cause too much of a problem. But I can't get this thing to stop. Like, it won't slow down. It just keeps coasting, and the dampeners are on, which is a little surprising, but this guy just... oh, that's good. That's good. Just run it right into the wall. Alright. Yeah, so I'm going to try one other thing. Okay, I'm pretty sure my last run is going to be using, for those of you that might have remembered when Caden and I were doing the exploration series when they were talking about adding in player-built ships and things of that nature, and they were doing more of like a sort of, what do they call it? Kind of like a contest, but not really a contest. It was more just like a thing they were doing. But see, I don't get this. The dampeners seem like they're not hardly doing anything on either of these ships, but now this one I can't blame anybody but ourselves because we designed this. So if this doesn't move right, this is kind of our fault. Ooh, that was close. Now, and also I do know, see, I'm gonna run right into the wall again. Right into the wall. But see, this guy's made out of heavy armor, so it might be able to take a hit or two more that the other one couldn't do. Missiles too? Really? But see, I just end up... So essentially, if you want to get through this obstacle course, build a tank and just fly it through all of the stuff. That's how you do it. Right there. Woohoo! We did it! We cheated. But, you know, so yeah, if you're looking for any kind of like obstacle course kind of thing, this is really fun to play around with. I am surprised at how difficult it was with smaller ships. I expected it to be a lot easier because there's these big open spaces and it's like, oh, I'll just fly through. But you'd have to have a ship that can stop really well, I think, for this to actually be easier. Because that was one of the biggest problems, is I would speed up and get going through here, But unlike your character astronaut, when you stop, I would just end up floating into a wall. And that's marginally how I ended up getting to the end, was just poking holes in the wall. It's like just build a heavy block battle tank and just fly through all the walls. So anyways, I think that's going to wrap things up for this episode. I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.